My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the IRS. I worked at IRS 10 long years. Welcome to my YouTube channel. They're short. I get right to the point. These aren't infomercials. If you want an infomercial, go to my website at 777irs.com. I've been on the national news many times. You can learn about me there. I was a former revenue officer, teaching instructor, worked well over 10,000 cases at IRS. The number one priority we had collecting IRS debt, just so you know, very specific, very, very specific, was payroll tax. Payroll tax, payroll tax, payroll tax. Why? Just to make a cute video? No, it wasn't a tax. If you are listening to this and you are the employer, you've taken money out of the checks of employees and you haven't turned it over. That's Sammy. She gets an appearance fee every time I'm talking. It's unbelievable. No, she went the other way. Anyway, you have to pay this debt because IRS gets a list every quarter of the people who are in your area, in the zip code, to go after. They have the list depending on the manpower. They're called Federal Tax Deposit Alert System. That people within your area have not paid their federal taxes. IRS knows that. Sometimes they don't if you haven't filed returns, because why? They don't know you haven't filed. But IRS will be hot on your trail. So why do I say that? Well, because it's their number one priority is trust fund tax. Why? They've been giving money away on W-2s, you're withholding, and they haven't got the money, and so they're giving someone else's money away. So how do you recover from this, and what do you do? Well, as a former agent, the first two things I would do when I'd knock on a door, maybe seize the business or whatever I was going to do, first two questions I'd ask always are, have you fixed the problem? Are you starting to make federal tax deposits? And are all your returns filed? Once IRS sees that, that's really good news for you. So the first question I always ask, always when I come in, do you really need to be in business? Not in a negative way, but how is your business doing? Are you going to be able to survive? Many people just want to keep the ship going because they don't know what else to do, only knowing they're going further in debt. That's what we kind of do. We do a little analysis for you just to find out where you stand. Are you going to recover? Here's the thing that you have to understand. If you don't file your returns, IRS can file for you, and you're not going to want that to happen. If IRS files for you, you could amend that, but IRS is going to jack that number up. And the last thing, very important, you have to do, IRS sets up the trust fund recovery penalty. You go, oh, what's that? Well, IRS is going to say, well, you owe the money personally, and they do that through the 6672 penalty. So the people who are responsible, generally officers, people who ran the office, people in charge, IRS is going to assess this money personally against you. It takes about 6 to 9 months to do that, but they effectively do that. If you wrote a check, made determinations, IRS is going to try to collect the money from the corporation and collect it from you and whoever they get it from first. Wow, that's great for them. So IRS takes payroll taxes very, very, I can't even tell you, I've had to work at least 4,000 of these cases. So remember, there's ways to recover from this, but you have to go ahead and ask yourself, is it recoverable? And if you are, start making your federal tax deposits and make sure all your returns are filed. If you need me, I'm always available for representation. Thank you very much for your ear today. I appreciate it.